this video, we're going to take a look at how to divide using a strip diagram as well as long division. So let's take a look at our problem to begin with. DJ took a trip during spring break with his family. They drove 3,504 miles over 4 days. How many miles did they drive each day? So using your strategies, we want to find out the important information, and that will help us figure out our problem. So beginning with the end in mind, we want to know how many miles did they drive each day. There are some keywords there I see in each. That could either indicate multiplication or division, but we need to read the rest of the problem to figure out. So let's take a look at our important numbers. DJ took a trip during spring break. They drove 3,504 miles. That is important. And they did this over 4 days. That is important. So that means they are taking a larger number and they are dividing it equally into 4 groups. So what does that sound like? Does that sound more like multiplication or division? Well, if you said division, you were right. It's when you're taking a larger number and you're dividing it out equally or giving equal groups. So we won't need multiplication this time. So since we know that, I'm going to go ahead and set up our problem over here on the side. So we're taking 3,504 miles and we're going to divide that by 4. So that ultimately is our problem. And this looks familiar. What might not look as familiar is how are we going to convey this in a strip diagram. So the first thing is we need to block off our first strip. This is our total, which the 3,504 is going to fit into. Now we want to take that total and we want to divide it equally amongst 4 groups. So the next strip underneath it would represent us dividing this number equally into 4 groups. So we don't know just what's going to go there yet. We're going to have to do the math off to the side and figure it out. Let's do that now. So obviously I cannot divide 3 equally into 4 groups, but I can divide 4. The closest number would give me 32. So I would divide, multiply, subtract, then bring down. My next closest number, I want to divide 30 equally into 4 groups, and that would give me 7. 7 times 4 is 28. So I've divided, I multiplied, and now I have to subtract. My next step is to bring down. Then last, see, it's 8, 780, and then 6. 6 times 4 is 24. I will not have a remainder with this problem, and I can stop there. So now I know that I can divide 3,504 equally 876 times. So I'm going to add that to each one of these boxes in my strip diagram. So on the first day they drove 876 miles. Second, same thing. They drove the same amount. And that is how you translate our long division into a strip diagram. Thanks for watching. Hope that was helpful.